the more relevant question actually is, what is wrong with America?
The Democrats are the ones, they are the party that cares for the country.
The 47th President of the United States.
This is the biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49-state victory.
There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country.
Trump, once again elected to the White House, leaders around the world congratulating him on his historic comeback. But there is one leader who apparently has no plans to congratulate him. Russia's Vladimir Putin, according to the Kremlin.
When asked the question about why hasn't Vladimir Putin congratulated President-elect Donald Trump, he said, let's not forget that we're talking about an unfriendly country that is both directly and indirectly involved in a war against our state.
We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Let's try that again. I have no idea why it tried to do that. I have no idea why I got muted, but I do have an idea why I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here with you. We are going through massive changes in society, some of them for the better, some of them not so much, and some of them, well, we have to push back on. The rest of them, I don't know what we're going to do. We've got so much corruption in our government, in politics, and specifically with specific politicians. And we have an elite liberal legacy media that just refuses to tell the truth or tries to spin or doesn't bother with follow-up questions. So before we get into all of that, I just want to say it is great to see Mark Fields in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here for as long as you've been here. We're looking at 6 months of membership. It's amazing. We do have the best wrenches on the planet, and I want to say thank you for acknowledging that. Let's say thank you to some other folks as well, like Tony Piacente for 5 Culture Casino memberships. That's right. We are on the goal for 5. Well, no, I wish we were on the goal for 5,000 members, but we're aiming for 1,000 members and 50,000 subscribers. And when we get to 1,000 members, it'll be pretty easy to get to 1,000 subscribers because everybody will know that we're a massive show with an incredibly brilliant audience and some very dynastic, should I say, wrenches. So it's all because of you and wonderful people like Tony Piacente. Thank you, Tony. Much appreciated. Want to say a super shout out to Ruby Hoove, who also dropped 5 Culture Casino memberships. She is truly amazing. So amazing. In fact, she dropped a super duper chat right here in my lap. It says, we'll be listening. Oh, caught the flu. Oh, no. Well, I hope I entertain you and I get you to healing quickly, young lady. Say hi to that nice man that you call a husband. And hopefully both of you are right as rain by the weekend. How about that? Should we make that wager? I hope so. We've got, of course, another wonderful person here to say a huge shout out to. And thank you. Hemorrhoid Hurts all the way from Australia, friends. That's right. And please shout out my wife, Susan Hates Me, super chatting. Okay, well, shout out to Susan. Susan hates when hemorrhoid hurts. Super chats. Well, thank you. And I'll say thank you to the great and powerful Hemorrhoid Hurts. Boy, they must really hurt. It's good to see you, my friend, and I appreciate that. So we've got lots to get to. There's a lot of conversations to have. We talked a little bit about a New Jersey governor candidate, I believe, last time we had a show, and I will say this about that: she's no longer she's less appealing. She can no longer stand on ignorance, despite the fact that ignorance is the only way that she was brought to bear. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there in the world that are not calling balls and strikes, not asking follow-up questions in some of the most important places. If you're trying to clear out the liberals, the Democrats from, get rid of the crazies that reside within, you have to have good follow-up questions. You have to actually put a little heat on that fastball, and they don't usually do that. So let's say let's take a look at this clip, and then I'll continue saying hi to all the amazing chat folks out there. You guys are the best. Let's take a look at this. Maybe I played this last week, maybe I didn't. Maybe you saw it on a montage, but this is that New Jersey governor candidate that can't answer a simple question and cast some shade on others in the process. Again, this isn't a good show. While the host may be well intentioned, he is inconsistent, and he doesn't ask follow-ups. Here you go.
So when Newsmax claims that you made $7 million from stock trades, what are they talking about?
Newsmax is, first of all, a very questionable organization that is paying multiple fines.
Throwing shade.
I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Yes, you will.
Well, did you make $7 million in stock trades at all? Or?
I haven't. I don't believe I did, but I'd have to go see what that was alluding to. Again, what kind of came from.
Yeah, and now this story gets worse, okay? Why does it get worse? Well, because when you are lying about one thing, especially publicly like this, she knows exactly how much money she made in the stock trades. You're often lying about a lot of other things, and that's a huge problem. We're going to have to take a look at just what I'm talking about right now. You see, according to the New York Post, Democratic New Jersey governor candidate Mikie, I don't know, Sherril, what a weird name, barred from walking at the U.S. Naval Academy graduation over cheating scandal. Cheating scandal. Do any of you, my friends, live in the greater New York, New Jersey area? You in the tri-state area? Can you talk about or speak at length about what this governor's race looks like? It's the first time I've seen a bounce back governor candidate in a Republican, but this is a cheating scandal. This goes back to the 25th. It was the 25th. Did you guys see this? Did you guys see it? It's pretty wild, right? I mean, I'm not overreacting to this. I don't think, it's this is not bueno. So it's good to see all you guys dropping in here. Cleekio Ketty out there. The legacy media has zero interest in exposing corrupt liberal Democrats. That's very true, Tony. Tony speaks truth. But this is bad. This is a candidate running for the highest office of the state. And this is not somebody I want representing me. Magnify says, I escaped New Jersey over 20 years ago and don't miss that crap. And that's a problem, right? I mean, when you talk about certain states, there's a certain level of corruption that I think we all expect. We shouldn't expect any. I don't think we should expect any, but this seems, inarguable. So Sherril's name was not included in the commencement program during the May 25th, 1994. This is how long ago this was. Now, mind you, that's a long time ago. But shouldn't she be held to a higher standard? The congresswoman said she was banned from walking because she declined to rat out classmates who were involved in the scandal that impacted 130 midshipmen. So what was her duty to country or to classmates or to the country or to the Constitution? I would say she didn't find a point of duty to operate within. And I think that that's very telling for lack of a better way to put it. She said, I didn't turn in some of my classmates, so I didn't walk, but graduated and was commissioned as an officer in the U.S. Navy, serving for nearly 10 years with the highest level of distinction and honor. Well, she declined to authorize the release of sealed disciplinary records, which means she's lying. She won't give the press more information about her lies. There she is. Scandal indeed. How she passed muster, I don't know. Notably, Sherril does appear in the 94 yearbook for the Naval Academy. Sherril and Sherril are both tied at 43% apiece, or at least they were at this particular time. And Sherril has a decent chance to win. Why? Well, we'll get to that one in just a second. But let's take a little break here, see what you guys are saying out there, see if you agree with me. Yeah. Tony says, I'm moving to Florida to get away from corrupt Connecticut. Yeah, well, I understand. Although maybe there'll be some folks that'll show up. I want to say hi to Cat Slave and Tom, both over on the Green Machine. It's good to see you over there. I think I said hi to Kalikio, Ketty, and many others, but this is not good. This is not good. Texas 84 DEI. Well, maybe that wasn't so much the issue back then. What the issue is now, though, is that because of the history recently with the leftists, specifically Democrats that align with the extremes, people are always assuming they're corrupt. So when you're getting constant reinforcement about the fact that, oh, well, maybe she was lying or is lying now, people don't want to support you for public office. So it shouldn't surprise anybody. And, as I was going to say, Democrats are wary of support, and it's sliding among typically loyal voters in New Jersey governor's race. If they don't go to the polls, that's just as much as casting a vote for Sherril, I believe. But yeah, within weeks to go in New York's high-stakes governor's race, key members of Democrats' diverse coalition, come on, including union and black leaders, have been raising concerns even when they're not supposed to. See, not supposed to. You're supposed to just vote blue no matter who, despite the fact that they're corrupt. See, this is a big problem. I don't think a lot of us take kindly to this. I could be wrong. But New Jersey voters on November 4 will decide an election that could put, well, Sherril in position to win. Not to mention several other states where Republican leadership has hand-selected candidates to defeat the corruption in a given state, because I think that also happens in Virginia as well. So, yeah. And Sherril apparently is tough on crime and cutting taxes, two things people really demand today. He will be a great governor. Can't argue with that. But this is kind of exciting. Nobody wants to support this lady, and there are obviously glaring reasons why, at least as far as I'm concerned. Let's see what you guys have to say if you're interested. Started out with a kind of a soft situation here. We're going to get to some of the more complicated ones now because, as soon as we had a little conversation, we're going to jump into the things that happened in Texas the last week. That should be fun. Askey's out there. Good to see you. I saw Dragon Queen. See Snorty out there. What's up? My favorite polar bar. And Lucius Nature Triste, who I found out was a young lady in the last conversation. Mark Mitchell Rasmussen, great pollster. Holy cow. Attended the academy at the same time as Sherril. He has a video on it explaining how bad this scandal is. You know what? I'm going to go watch that video. First of all, because it's Mark. And second of all, because being in that class is significant. I think it's 194. There were almost like 200 people in that class from what I'm to understand that got to walk. She wasn't one of them. Ooh, cheating at the academies used to be a big deal. Well, this was 30 some years ago. She's not a spring chicken. That chick is old. So, yeah, it is a big deal, and it should be. We should expect the highest from our service members. Wouldn't you? I do. I expect the absolute highest from those folks. They got into a very strict set of academies, and they passed and did so, hopefully, without cheating like she did. Pyrene Dream in the house says, if you tell the truth, even when you were wrong or did wrong, people respect that far, far more. Right. And so, like I said, when I am wrong, or if I say something wrong, or if I have information incorrect, it's upon me, and it's something I really try to get done quickly, to follow up and give you the accurate information, because I think that's my job. The mainstream media does not do that. Well, I got to stop saying it. The legacy dying media doesn't do that, and they haven't for a long time. And that you can blame on, well, various number of anchors that have worked for the various networks over the years, or perhaps CNN because of, well, multiple lying situations. But this is pretty crazy. Crazy indeed. Read by Nature's out there. We got Helena J out there. Good to see you, Helena. And JPRPH1 in the house. Kirk is here. Says, enlisted, am old, really never questioned officer. Anyone can be bad. Indeed. And that's a problem. And if you run because of your quote unquote military service, shouldn't your military service be squeaky clean? Especially if you keep bringing that up. I served for 10 years. Well, you almost didn't, because you cheated, or were part of the cheating scandal anyway. Joseph A. in the house. Great to see you, my friend. Says the lack of integrity among officers the past 10, 15 years may explain the lack of troop morale. It's true. I tell you what, despite Heg Smith's skateboard accident on stage today, at least that's what I'm told. I still haven't seen the clip. He's all about war fighting. He's all about integrity. He's all about building the best fighting force. We need that. Maybe a little less skateboarding, though. Just want to say. And again, I'm going to put credit where it's due. I mean, there are a lot of people in the Democrat Party that don't have any of these issues. And one of those people that I can't even believe I'm about to say is Fetterman. That's weird, right? Fetterman, who, again, didn't seem like he had a brain for a period of time because of that catastrophic brain injury he suffered, seems to be fine, or at least closer to fine. And when he's making more sense than presidential candidates for the Democrats, you have a real problem in that party. Helena J says, Helena J says, our founders wouldn't tolerate such behavior with acceptance and kind words. Shaking my head. Washington least of all. Indeed. That's straight up accurate. Mecca 1164. Living here in the great communist utopia of New Jersey, nothing they say will stop them. Queen Murphy has done an abysmal job as governor, and I imagine that this chick would too. All right, we're getting closer to moving on here. John Morrison says, I like New Jersey because of The Sopranos, but would not live there. Oh, yeah. It is scenic. I mean, there's areas of it. There's a reason. I know I like to make jokes about New Jersey, and it's not because I have any hate in my heart for New Jersey at all. It's just there's a reason it's called the Garden State, and then there's another reason it's called the Garden State, and that's not so good because it doesn't smell like a garden certain times of the year. Tony Piacente with another $5 super chat says, what do you think about Eric Adams dropping out of the New York City mayoral race culture? I think, well, look, I mean, I'm of two minds, but let's combine those real quick and just say it doesn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't change anything. Whoever's running media and, well, probably the polls is leaning so heavily for Mamdani that you're going to end up with the most failed state of New York ever as a state. That state, and you know what? Bassett already said it. In fact, I had it, I think, or I have it in today's clip when I run today's clip, that there's no bailout coming for New York. After you experiment with socialism, you get a commie in there, we're not going to give you any money. You don't deserve any. There's no bailing you out. And if you misuse money, I think the federal government determines if you, as the governor, if he becomes governor. God, I can't believe that's going to happen. So is it governor? It's not governor, right? Is it mayor? Somebody help me out. But what I think, like I said, what I think is, it's mayoral race. What I think is that he didn't have a choice. He wasn't going to win either way. And if anything, he was just going to play spoiler to somebody that might win. And what's interesting is right now the race really is down to two candidates in Silwa. Silwa probably should have already dropped out. But Cuomo is corruption. We know he's corrupt. We know he has terrible judgment, and he's a liar. We know all those things because, we all went through 4 years of a global crisis that put a lot of leftist states in lockdown forever. The rest of us were fine. But, and then you have a commie. So you vote for the commie or vote for the corrupt guy. That's not much of a choice in New York. New York, you deserve better, New York City. And like I said, I don't think any money should go to New York City, and I don't think any money should go to New York State. And I mean, why? Why would we bail out failure? That doesn't make any sense. I can't wait till you have empty grocery stores. That guy's in big trouble. Big trouble. Yeah. For whatever reason, I thought, anyway, doesn't matter. Thank you, Tony. We appreciate you. Newhouse Bruce in the house. Mark is younger. He's a younger guy. Yeah. She's pretty old. Maxi Dweeby. Cool. 67 says, isn't it the same lady who recommended 2 of her own children to the academy? Yeah, no. And that's the thing. She was a graduate of the academy. She didn't get to walk, and they locked up her service. That's never a good thing. She's a liar. What else is happening? JPS is out there. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, JPS, what's up? Argentum, hello, dear. How are you doing? I had a classmate who plagiarized the live action Cinderella in a creative writing class. There was basically no punishment except a lecture to the class about it where he wasn't named. Ooh. You see, that's a problem. Academic standards have been destroyed. There aren't any. So it is what it is. Ruby Hoove drops another $2. I really hope you feel better. I'm offended for Sherril. Cheryl's right now. Well, me too. She's a really weird last name, I think. But yeah. I said I'd wear a mankini when I hit 40K. I don't think that's true. I think somebody's making that up. I may wear an Alf costume for a 40th K celebration. I really need to do that. I mean, I'm almost at 41. Although YouTube's being very careful on like making sure I don't get too much support. It's pretty wild right now. Andrew Wardness says skateboard. From what I heard, yeah, I don't know. Frank's here. Good to see you, Frank. Yeah. Helena J says, yeah, no. Even I got an Article 15 company grade. Really? If it's clean, they're a super soldier or weren't caught. Yeah, I guess so. But I just want the best for our military. That's just me. Or maybe I'm too pie in the sky. We got something here from Keep It Real. Don't forget that he fought to keep aboard babies that survive in a trash can. keep alive a baby that survived in a trash can. I think you should keep everybody alive, but that's just me. Godzillionaire says somehow having a stroke gives you more sense than your average Dem or President Biden, who I still think was out to lunch for like before he even got elected. This is insane. You cannot run a successful campaign from your basement. And there was nobody showing up at his rallies, so it is what it is. Generic Burnett is in the house. Good to see you. Not sure why Fetterman's a Dem. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be somebody in his like room, like one of his interns, that's like, you can't vote for that. You're going to get disowned by the Democrats. I don't know that it matters at this point. He's in a pretty solid employment state, so he could stick that out. Texas 64 in the house, or excuse me, Texas 84. Excuse me. Time to head home. I'll have to catch the replay. Thanks. Well, thank you, Texas 84. I appreciate it. All right, we're gonna get these last supers, and I gotta move on. But I just want to say thank you to Dragon Queen for a $5 super chat saying, "Distraction, grizzly bear or polar bear?" I do a lot of polar bears. Husband, working on your bear tomorrow after my review. Amazing! I can't believe you're doing that, Dragon Queen. Thank you. I don't know. See, my friend Jay, Drunk 3PO, is like Canadian bear. Just don't make me look Canadian, I think. I mean, I like polar bears. My favorite polar bears in the chat right now, Snorpus Humor, but I don't know. Just make me handsome. I want to be a handsome bear. It'd be nice to be handsome once in my life. Okay. All right. Let's get, man, you guys are chatting like crazy. Okay. One last one, guys. We got, holy cow, it's bass player 2011 Iffy in the house. It's good to see you, friend. Saying Silwa as mayor would be hilarious. Imagine the founder of the Guardian Angels running the city. There wouldn't be a crime problem would there? Yeah, it's weird. And it's surprising he doesn't get more support. But I mean, a lot of people have thought some of the things he said is a little out to lunch, but that's what it is. It is what it is. Look at all these amazing chats. You guys are on fire. Hey, Orlando. Good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing well. Says, hey, CC, chat, and mods. It's great to see you. All right, let's get going. Let's say one last shout out to our friend Channel Surf, who's awesome. And let's get into that story from last week, shall we? You remember what happened in Texas last week? Well, let's get a breakdown from somebody who would know, somebody who was there, and somebody who has an opinion that I think I want to share.
Enough is enough with the harmful lies and violent rhetoric. It has to stop. The shooter used the ICE tracking apps. Anyone who creates or distributes these apps that is designed to spot, track, and locate ICE officers are well aware of the dangers that they are exposing to law enforcement. It's a casting call to invite bad actors to attack law enforcement officers. It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target, and this is exactly what we saw happen in Dallas yesterday.
All right. I wanted to play that clip because that is exactly what happened. And again, this is something that CNN, who's airing this, made available to everybody. It was kind of filthy that they wanted to promote something that would help people target ICE agents. That may not have been what they were saying they were trying to do, but it certainly is a tool to do so. And when I say tool, I mean all these people who are using it for terrible means. Well, they're tools too. Let's take a look at this from Carolyn Levitt herself on X. 3 months ago, CNN irresponsibly gave free publicity to an app that recklessly shares the location of ICE agents. It has now been revealed the leftist lunatic shooter who opened fire on the Dallas ICE facility, which we all woke up to that day, was using one of these apps. The liberal media, the fake news, is complicit in the increased threats and violence against ICE. That's true, because they only cover the news from their slanted yellow journalism perspective. We see it every day. They are quick to write fake story portraying ICE in a negative light. That was actually NBC that actually put that bologna sausage out there that they retracted, but harm done already, often omitting the real facts of these cases, and they hardly ever write about the vicious criminals that ICE is arresting every day to make our country safer. This is the article headline. I'm going to show you the actual article, however, because I think you need to see in black and white what was actually being done. And I have to tell you, this particular situation to me is disgusting. You see, CNN Business is the one who ran this. I wanted to do something to fight back. This is one of these resist freak shows. This iPhone app alerts users to nearby ICE sightings. The story written by Claire Duffy. Thank you, Claire, for sharing this wonderful app with crazy people. So the developer makes this app. It's Joshua Aaron has worked in and around the tech industry for around 2 decades. He built his first app, a blackjack game, at a computer camp when he was 13. Well, he should have sold that to a casino company. Anyway, his newest app is designed for a very different purpose, to let users alert people nearby to sightings of immigration and customs enforcement agents in their area. Aaron launched the platform called Ice Block in early April after watching President Donald Trump's administration begin its immigration crackdown. So, CNN would have some culpability. At least I would think so. I'm curious what you guys think, but I think there's some real culpability here from CNN. I'm kind of curious where you land. By the way, it looks like the market's still going good, and looks like a lot more people are greedy. I hate that index. I think it's like, hey, we're going to track 2 bad things. Greed is good. It's a movie that says something like that. Anyway, let's get back to chatting with you guys, see what your perspective is. Is the news media, legacy, fake news media, partially culpable for stuff like this? I mean, we just saw the release of a violence, deifying film in the marketplace that couldn't barely rise to $22 million in the theaters domestically, and only on the coasts where it's incredibly blue. If you look at blue versus red counties, I brought this up on WDW Pro's show earlier. A mere 27% of red states were interested in the terrible adaptation of the book Vinland. Again, just raising up the violence of the extreme leftist rhetoric. The news media has been doing that through choice of words, and those words are now becoming even more meaningless to people at a time when words should matter. And it's really not good. I'm curious what you guys have to say, but I think it's a problem. Let's see. Trying to get to your comments. And Pyrene Dream says something I think is articulate and well stated here. Pyrene Dream says it's actually collusion in some cases. Every time they misrepresent Antifa, and there is over a decade of evidence for the actions. Yeah, well, you have to remember, you had waddling idiots like Jerry Nadler telling people that it doesn't exist. They have like merch. They have their own flag. They have T-shirts they'll sell you. Get hats. And of course, they'll help you buy all the black bloc and all the other stuff so that, you are, it's harder to identify you. Complete garbage. Bishop says, How much does Israel pay you to play this game? Well, not playing a game, and I haven't taken any money from Israel. So none. Oh, you must be one of those regular trolls over at Jeremy's channel. Oh, hey, I always wanted one of you guys. Because, yeah, I'm going to put you on blast, bro. This is amazing. I've got a troll. Guys, I have a troll. I got a troll. Everybody say hi. Say hi to the troll. Oh, I love it. Look, you know what? What does Jeremy usually say? What does D-Day Cobra usually say? I have a troll. Thank you, Brendan Day. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. Wow. Everybody's going to say hi to you. Everybody's going to say hi. Hi to the troll. You're getting the attention that you feel you need. Yeah. This is not a safe place, my friend. It's not. It's where we talk about real stuff. So, hang out, have a good time. Don't call other people. Don't attack anybody else in the chat. Don't say bad words. And I don't care if you're here mouthing off. I think you're gonna make. I think like Jeremy. I think you might end up making me some money. Tell all your friends. This will be a lot of fun. I'll enjoy that. Thank you, Bishop, for spouting out ridiculousness that you know nothing about. This is great stuff. Wonderful. Davina's in the chat. Good to see you. Saying, let me put it this way. Would an app that traced law officers fighting drug cartels be legal before they made a bust? I don't know. I think this has a problem. I think it really does. I even question some of the ways people use Ring, to be fair, with that neighbor program. That's why I don't use that. That's why I'm done with Ring. I've been done with Ring for a while. It really does like open you up to some moronic takes. If somebody's calling around saying, hey, there's a dog barking. You just wasted my time. Probably a notification on my phone. I don't care. What I do care about is when it compromises security. Like there are apps that track lots of different things. Helicopters, planes. There are police tracking apps out there. There's even a way to get all of the local police radio. There's an app that'll actually give you access to the local police radio and all the emergency stations. So there are some that I think probably shouldn't be there. This might be one of them. We'll have to see. And you're right. Real Life Fake Wizard is correct. As always, check out Real Life Fake Wizard's channel. He's got a great hat. Just a killer hat. So check him out. But words should matter. And the problem is a lot of people have muted words. So Commie News Network. Yeah, I've been calling it that for since the second war in Iraq. Well, yeah. Words only matter if it's their narrative. Yeah, that's true. 365 raw. I just want to say real. Can I just say real? I think I'd keep it real. Yeah, or one that docks them, allowing cartels to assassinate police officers, lawyers, and judges at will. Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you there's a lot of compromised governments with those problems, but that's a whole other conversation. Hoot! If you're nice, you warrant the developer. If you're smart, you leverage the app to map your adversary over time and then send them all free pagers. Well, I've seen that before. Recently, as a matter of fact, I think a government did that. Maybe the one I got accused of playing a game for money. Folks, if somebody offers me money behind this, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say thank you to people like Lightning Sketch Productions who give me money. So is the Discord Disney is now is the Discord is in now be the cause for a better leader to step up soon? Well, they're going to have one. Aren't they supposed to be knee deep in a succession plan? Where's our succeeder? Where's this new person? It cannot be Mr. Theme Park because he is terrible. Josh Tomorrow is awful. And you didn't used to think that. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. I thought Gator was our beloved troll. Yeah, I thought yeah, either him or Wilton, right? Yeah. Hey, Sin, what's up? I know I've got a troll. It's super fun. Mary H is in the house. Hi, troll. Jonathan Conroy saying hi to the troll. I love it. You guys are in the spirit of it. I dig it. RC, you should not be having trolls. It's okay. It's all right. As long as they don't say mean things to you guys, I don't care. And if they say mean things, the wrenches will eliminate them. Yeah, I don't let my chat attack each other. You guys can have discussions and disagreements, but we're going to keep it cordial. And that's when I know it's not a super lefty in the chat. So, yeah, you guys are the best. All right, that was fun. What a distraction! Kind of like perfect timing, like proving the point. So much fun. I can see why Jeremy gets a kick out of that. I really can. Hey, Mark, good to see you, buddy. Having a good day, I hope. We all have a block option. Yeah, but it's all right. It's all right. Just, yeah, I need you guys to be good. Oh, wait, the troll went away. Oh, no. Argento's like, I missed the troll. All right, let's keep going. We got more to get to, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around while that silliness happened. Okay, so in real life, we have been watching, and this is going to be a fun story. We've been watching companies, restaurants, retailers, whatever. We've been watching them self-destruct because they thought, but they brought in some recently graduated know-nothing with a bunch of, buzzwords and probably an Excel spreadsheet or two. And the spreadsheet warriors invaded a company, and they're thinking, okay, we need a new marketing strategy. We need a stratagem. We need something that will differentiate us from all the other items that are being sold on the market. So let's bring in something that has destroyed companies incredibly quickly. Let's go crazy woke because, hey, we want to go crazy broke. Well, your investors don't want you to do that. And again, as the story mentions, and we'll get to it in a second, Dylan Mulvaney helped out Bud Light. And that's what the story is all about. Just in retail form. It's like a follow-up to a failing restaurant now. What's the name of that? What is that called? Used to have this really old dude, on the front with his elbow on a barrel, Cracker Barrel. Yeah, that's probably what. Anyway, let's get to that story because I think you guys are gonna like it. Retail wise, you got to keep your audience close. You got to keep these people loving you, they got to love what you have to sell. So, a retailer is closing nearly 21 stores, losing $80 million after replacing Shark Survivor model. You remember her? She had her arm tore off with man pretending to be a woman. Okay. Again, this is in the story. So the Dylan Mulvaney effect claims another victim. After Anheuser-Busch decided to partner with self-proclaimed TG influencer Dylan Mulvaney, a man pretending to be a woman for an ad campaign. By the way, Bad Bunny much? Featuring him drinking a Bud Light in 2023. Reported sales were down 29.9% for the week ending January 2024 when compared to previous year. Yeah, and that was 2023. We are 2 years separated from that, and they really haven't bounced back. Not much at all. They lost so much shelf space during their rapid decline that there wasn't a way to get back up because, well, that's how beer, wine, and spirit sales work. You get shelf space consistent with or congruent with what you actually sell. And the only way to push down the shelf is to have your items sell out so that they grant it more shelf space in comparison to something else that doesn't sell as well. That's how you maximize retail floor space, because it's basically per linear foot. That's something that you sell. So the companies in 2023 had time to learn that customers did not want to see any kind of delusional stuff in marketing efforts. I mean, they'd be fine laughing at things. They'd be fine at, traditional marketing techniques, but not so much with the ideology putting itself in that place. So Kathmandu Holdings, known as KMD Brands, has reported an $82.9 million loss. Ouchie. After a boycott in 2024 over the decision to use another TG surfer to promote the sport to women. You already have people promoting the sport to women. There are women doing that already. So the UK's Daily Mail reported this is the biggest loss in a decade. Those losses include a $40.3 million write-down value for Obaz. I don't know what that is. It's a hiking boot company. And KMD also owns both Kathmandu and Rip Curl. So there's that. Rip Curl is a famous surfing brand. Yes, it is. They've dropped Bethany Hamilton, who lost her arm in a shark attack. This is the lady on the left. You remember her. She's quite famous. Still surfing. They instead listed Sasha Lowerson. That's kind of funny. To advertise women's surfing. Their total contempt could not be more clear. I'm going to leave that up there without comment. Not going to comment. Won't comment. Anyway, so this is a New Zealand-based company, and the Daily Mail reported the boycott came as many Australians opted to boycott Rip Curl last year after it featured the so-called TG Sasha Lowerson as part of the ad campaign. So using a man dressing up as a woman is off-putting enough, but becomes worse when considering who Lowerson replaced. I mean, this is a brilliant story, right? A story of a strong, powerful woman that overcomes adversity to continue surfing. What a great brand ambassador, for Rip Curl or any other surfing brand, right? I think. Ron John, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, according to the biography on Bethany Hamilton's website, she lost her arm at 13, but she has continued to pursue the sport that she loves, surfing. Of course, she's also a Christian woman, which is probably likely something that affected their support as well, which will tell you more and more about the company. So, of the 328 Kathmandu Rip Curl stores, 21 of them are closing. You guys think that this will stop? I probably have a Rip Curl sticker on the bottom of one of my boards. I'll have to check. Anyway, of course, I also have a Sex Wax sticker, but that's a brand, guys. Everybody calm down. But there's that. So you can find that in the Western Journal, or you can find it at the Daily Mail, but that story is out there in the world. KMD is going to regret that, I think. But what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? Successful businessman. What do I know? I don't know anything. Let's take a look, see what you guys think. R.J. McGrady, Bud Light. Indeed. Yeah, not great. Not smart. Hey, the Bosco scenario. Red Lobster. No. It's that Cracker Barrel thing. They got rid of the cracker. They didn't even keep the barrel. Oh, it's like Land O'Lakes. They got rid of the Indian. They kept the lakes. Yeah, just dumb. The virtue signaling is stupid. Super stupid. Yeah. Rip Curl is dead. It's a shame. Their logo design was fantastic. I love the three color curl that made up the outside wrap of their logo. That's really well done. It's good design. It's great. Great logo design. It's really easy to work with too, or incorporate into designs. Yeah. Justin Channel's in the house. Good to see you. Mark Daly says, as decorations, my 2000 place jigsaws beat my MBA diploma. They're nicer to look at, proof of a greater accomplishment. That's true. No, it's not. Look, I don't want to downplay education, right? But I mean, putting the wrong people in positions of power hurts you. How do you know they're the wrong people? Well, they've worked up through your organization, so you weed them out. It's why merit is so important. It's also why people don't know how businesses operate. When a pipeline crashes and you've gotten rid of all the institutional knowledge, nobody there knows how to turn it off manually. Well, the button isn't working. Yeah, no kidding, because the motor for the button's dead. You got to go out there and shut it off manually. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I know you don't know how to do that. And the problem is there are fewer and fewer people that do. That's a big problem. Lindsay. Hey, Lindsay. How you doing? Cynical Geek in the house. Great to see you, dear. Yeah, Cracker Barrel destroyed. Tony's right. They destroyed their entire company in an attempt to make the 20 stores out west slightly more profitable. It's not worth it. Give them better food, and don't rip them off on the pricing. Don't be Disney. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy. Weatherman, what's up, Weatherman? It's great to see you. We got a lot of folks over on the Green Machine, just acknowledging that Dude Bro Seth is in the house. We got Weatherman, of course. We got Magnify, that would be Tom. We got Cat Slave, great to see you. A few other folks over there. I love the folks on Rumble. You guys keeping the Green Machine running. But Weatherman says, if I'm gonna drink beer, I wouldn't drink Bud Light. I go get a real beer. Yeah, I mean, there's some really nice craft beers out there that go well with food. And again, I like to pair booze with food. I still think that's the more elegant solution to an eating and drinking combination if you're going to be so inclined. Neo Champions out there. Hey, cool name. Or Neff, Neff's Champion. This is obviously a dude. Well, again, I'm gonna let y'all comment on that. I'm not saying anything. The Scapegoat, how you doing? What's up? Scapegoat says, whoa, of those two, who's damaged more? Yeah. I feel like the person that actually had the arm removed probably took the bigger hit. I don't know. And of course, the Peter Venkman fan site. Thank you for being here, dear. Appreciate seeing you. I remember that thing. I do too. Adam Rice says, Greg Knoll from my town was on Endless Summer. Really? Oh, he rode the longboard. Dude, the big kahuna boards are so much fun. Rode the longboard on the biggest wave in record. That's crazy. I love that. Thank you, Adam. That's good. That's a good piece of trivia there. Yeah, longboards are amazing, man. They're like 3 times your size or more. It's crazy stuff. In fact, in one of those surf movies, they like piled a bunch of people on one. It was like nuts. Super fun. Yeah. I'm a little sporty board guy. Try not to get anything that's taller than me. Anyway. Yeah, this is so true. They fared better than the lingerie company. Yeah, Victoria's Secret got walloped. I didn't know they closed their Twits page. I didn't know that. That's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. I knew Cracker Barrel was going downhill after my experiences with their food lately. Oh, it's been bad. Which was not been good. You can tell their food is no longer served fresh or prepared fresh. I mean, they've got all kinds of problems. how much time are you really saving? And making your stuff in-house people will appreciate it more. People don't get down home fresh cooked meals anymore. So yeah, it was silly. So cue the Dick Dale. There you go. Hey, Game Metal, what's going on? Hey, mate, what's going on? Yeah, skateboarding, I think some people maybe should practice a bit before they try to do that in front of a group of people. I would not want to ice skate or rollerblade in front of anybody right now, especially with the way my knees are. I have to strengthen some stuff because I'm telling you, last time I went snowboarding was rough. I think I got a concussion. I concussed myself. And we, the North, they ruined. See, I like saying ruined that way. They ruined Bud. They had great ads. They did. And now they don't. Taking one for the creative folks. Yeah. I knew Victoria's Secret was doomed when they started posting photos of the people that were obese. Yeah. Yeah. Look, like right now, I know what side of the fat fence I'm on. I'm a lot heavier than I should be, but I'm slimming down because you can do something about that most of the time. Out of 8 people, 7 of them can fix whatever's going on with their metabolism and their weight. But there is going to be a percentage of people that can't do anything about it. Regardless, and that's not hate on people who are overweight. I mean, if you're overweight because you like food and you like beverages, I don't care. But we have to all admit it's not the healthiest way to live. Anyway, I think the people are not going to find that as appealing as everybody would like it to be. Regardless, Hemorrhoid Hurts is out there. My food pairing: beer and whiskey and more beer and fall down. I love that. That's a good one. Thank you for the super chat. And tell Susan thank you too. All right. Thank you, Susan. Daryl the Derelict in the house. What's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. I don't get to see you much anymore. Why is that? The lovely Sherry is here. She's got her own commercials, folks. She's a special person. We love her. Mark Daly says, speaking of Bud, NFL is Bud lifting the halftime show. Well, we could talk about that. I wasn't going to talk about Bad Bunny today. I don't care. Well, I'm not going to watch it. I stopped watching the Super Bowl several years ago. The Super Bowl, and I call it that for a reason. The Super Bowl is getting to the point where inflation has killed it. The bill is too high for what you get. You're not even getting good football. You're probably not getting real football. It's very possibly fixed at this point. I mean, would that surprise anybody? Especially hearing rumors recently about a fixed boxing match. Not to mention the Tyson fight was ridiculous. It's so easy to look at sports and go, well, the NBA is terrible. Ever since the fix was in for the Knicks to get the center that they needed, I think nobody believed it after that. Was that Stern, right? David Stern was the commissioner back then. We don't trust these commissioners. The guy at the NFL, in my opinion, is a corrupt lawyer. He's clearly been bought off. And, 50% of those owners don't believe half the virtue signaling garbage that's funneled through the NFL. So, and the fact that they want to partner up with Disney, that's a bad plan. And I don't think anybody in their right mind at the FCC, SEC, or in the administration is going to allow that to happen. So Disney's selling a pipe dream that they have no intentions of delivering on. And if they were to, well, the game would go downhill even further. We already have rights problems. We already have sports leagues that are pricing themselves out of people's interest. Because much like what happened with cable, where you didn't know you were paying for ESPN, Well, you're paying for ESPN if you had cable. You may or may not be getting it because you didn't pay extra on top of what the extra was you were paying. And once that little secret came out, people got a little bit frustrated. And I'm going to tell you, Amazon's doing it. YouTube is doing it. If you're a creator, you know that, after what they admitted that they did and they wrote a check to Trump, after the fact that they've been leaning into almost 100%, the automatically auto-dubbed stuff, all the AI stuff, the fact that they want you to use tools inside of YouTube to make stuff largely with AI, I expect. I mean, we're getting to the point where we got problems, guys. Problems indeed. So what else we got out there? Mark says, I don't smoke or drink, but I do enjoy my food. See, it's okay. Like you said, I will pass no judgment. I am heavier than I should be right now, but I'm working on it. Let's get into some other stories, though. That was a lot of fun. What a distraction. We've had 2 distractions here today. We had that conversation, and we have a troll. It's always fun. And it looks like the troll might still be out there. Hey, Sabrina's Espresso says, check out Culture's channel memberships. Thank you, Sabrina. You're the best. Look at all y'all. I love it. Good time. Let's see. Who else is out there? So many other people dropping in. Mo AI, mo problems. Indeed. All right, let's get to it. So, we're the last day of a budget. Do you care? Do you care? Do you care on the last day of the budget that we probably don't have an agreement? We probably won't have an agreement. Are you okay with it? I know I am. I mean, I'm okay. Every day that the government is shut down is a better day. We need essential things taken care of, probably need the mail delivered. So I got friends out there, in fact, even out in the chat, that they're probably going to keep going to work. I mean, right? So, anything that isn't going to be working after today is going to be, well, essential. And there's this wonderful word that you put in front of that, a prefix, let's say, with a hyphen, that is non-essential. Do you realize how many non-essential people we have right now? Some estimates put it over 875,000 non-essential people. It's also quite interesting that today was the day for the voluntary resignation. A lot of people are selling this, and look, I'm going to point some fingers at Benny and some other people that I appreciate and all that. But look deeper into why there's 100,000 people quitting today. It's because they were being paid to quit. They were either on some kind of a leave or suspension with pay or other things leading into their last day of work. So that's going to cut a lot of money off the books too. Some people took a pay package. I mean, just get out, and I'm okay with that. You got your years in. You've got a little bit of money set aside. You got a cash payout, whatever it is. Go away. Go get gainful employment in the private sector. But up to 875,000 people could be deemed non-essential tomorrow or soon. I'm not sure what the time frame is. I'm not going to pretend that I think it's definitely tomorrow. It's not. It's going to be stretched out. But let's say we get 2 weeks into this. Wow, that'd be glorious. 2 weeks of not paying the feds. Ooh, good stuff. As long as people get their Social Security checks, government pensions, all that stuff, I don't care. Shut down for a year at this rate. You just get rid of more non-essential people. The essential thing's still going to get paid for and get done. And the fact that the Republican Party passed a quote-unquote clean resolution to just extend the government at rates current and not do what the Democrats did, which try to add trillions of dollars in spending and giving. And look, I know they're going to try to say that they're not aware of the illegal money going for illegal aliens to get medical services. Oh, they're lying. I mean, what was he? Hakeem Jeffries, that guy's a capital liar. And he had a little melty. He had a little melty because Trump put out like an AI image of him wearing a sombrero. It's because it was basically telling everybody that he supports illegals, not America. And he's took it entirely the other way, like people without a sense of humor or disingenuous people would do. And they got butthurt, had a little melty. So let's take a look at the article I want to get to because there are some people who realize what is actually happening. Seriously, even right here on this show. Because a Democrat government shutdown. This is from the Daily Signal. If you want to go find it, it's up on X right now. I just grabbed the image. A Democrat government shutdown would harm the people they claim to care about. Jacob Adams wrote this yesterday, and I agree, 100%. While Democrats in Congress claim to be advocates for government workers, a government shutdown would potentially furlough thousands of government employees who would not receive pay for the duration of the shutdown. And, by the way, could be fired. Which means there wouldn't be any back pay, which means they wouldn't be going back to work. See, this is the thing that kind of was a trap this time around. The goal of this administration is to reduce the amount of paid bureaucrats that exercise authority that they were never voted to have. It's going to be fun. I know a lot of people won't look at it that way. A lot of people will be mad at me. A lot of people will be like, you shouldn't root for people to lose their jobs. And that's all true. I agree with that. I don't want people to lose their jobs, that they're gonna over political things that don't have anything to do with the United States. The people who are here illegally shouldn't be getting any services from us at all, let alone health care. They shouldn't be here in the first place. They shouldn't be allowed to be employed. And if they are, I think the companies that employ them should be shut down permanently. I'm not kidding. I'm including the trucking companies. I'm including retail locations. I'm including a lot of people that work in the state for Governor Newsom's pals. I think there should be gut destroying fines that take out the wind from the sails of every corporation that employs people who are not legal to be here, let alone work. I think that the gross negligent or the forced negligence of all of these agencies, those people should be held accountable. And the people that lead those agencies, and at the top of that leadership would be Gavin Newsom, they should be in big trouble. But look, if it's a company run by a Republican, dude, why'd you hire an illegal? It's illegal to do. I have a real problem with that. But look, I have problems with people forgiving people that are breaking the law that way. There's no forgiveness for that. Everybody's like, well, there's no jobs. Yes, there are. Americans won't do these jobs. Yes, they will. And by the way, those jobs that Americans won't do, you're replacing with automation even as we speak. That's happening right now. It's a true story. What's worse, honestly, is that this lacks a frame of reality, these perceptions and these belief systems, because nobody wants the government to shut down. I mean, other than people like me who are just like, I don't want to pay for this stuff anymore. There's no benefits to anybody that I know. I mean, you can throw money at a problem forever. How's that solved homelessness in California? I think we're 15 years past the expiration date of when Newsom said that San Francisco we wouldn't have any homeless there anymore. How's that working out? Newsom's a liar, just like his Aunt Pelosi. I mean, come on. Let's take a look at this real quick. And and by this, I mean this particular story, because it's just a poll. It's just a poll. It's a poll based in reality. You see, views on whether the Democrats should or should not shut down the government if their demands are not met. All respondents to this poll said 65%. That's a majority, you democracy-loving freak shows. Not realizing that we're a representative republic in the United States. Democracy's mob rule. We don't have that. If we had that, we'd already be a third world hellhole. Because, well, if you don't win, bullets start flying, and or you've already gone to the lengths to organize a successful coup. But regardless, all respondents came back with 65% they should not shut down the government. Adoy. Democrats, look at this, 43% of Democrats. That's a pretty decent percentage. I mean, 47% are, they should shut it down. That tells me a lot about Democrats, okay? And then independents, they're on the positive side. 59% of independents. That's a big number. 32% of independents say, yeah, they should. You see these yellow numbers, these numbers over here? These are the ones we care about. By the way, Republicans, 92% should not. Of course. You always knew what the Republicans were going to do. Should not shut down the government. But now nobody's going to get paid. This is a New York Times Siena poll. It had 1,313 registered voters nationwide, conducted from September 22nd through the 27th. The segment with the little white or gray bars here that you see, those are the people who don't know. First of all, how do you don't know something like that? Anyway, that's fine. I mean, if you don't actually know the issue or don't know what a government shutdown means, okay, fine. But it's too high a percentage, in my opinion. You should actually know what it means. Regardless, this is typical polling. You're going to find it more times out of 10. Again, and this comes down to the difference between classical liberals and Democrats that I respect and the extreme leftists, which are basically forcing regular mainstream Democrats over to an extreme opinion. Why are you letting the tiniest fraction of a minority drag your party all the way to, radical leftists slightly, why are you trying to join the CCP? What is going on here? By the way, the CCP wouldn't tolerate half of the garbage that's being peddled by the left right now anyway. But what's going on? How is this happening? And why aren't more people talking about this, calling it out? I gotta wonder. Hemorrhoid Hurts sent a super duper chat to the show. Thank you, my friend. Saying, speaking of fat, I'm like a massive, morbidly obese, hairless grizzly bear with a Baron Vladimir Harkonnen head. Let that marinate in your mind. No, I got you. And you know what? It's fun. I like Baron Harkonnen. One of my favorites. Like I said, the original Dune movie was still really good. I don't care if anybody doesn't like it. I think it's fun. Sin doesn't like Harkeem. I don't care. Yeah. I love the fact that it bothers him when people call him Discount Obama or Dollar Store Obama. I love that. It's so funny. You got to laugh at yourself. I laugh at myself all the time. Guys, I mean, I dance around in a bear costume, right? I dance around in a wizard. I don't care. Have fun with your life. It's limited. Yeah, illegals that vote's a problem, especially since we now know for a fact that states have been hiding on their rolls. People that shouldn't be on the rolls, maybe dead people, maybe illegals, maybe foreign nationals. I don't know. Maybe fake people, believe it or not. A number of those. I can't believe somebody's 164 years old or older. There's a lot of those on the rolls right now. Oh, Timu Obama. Thank you. I didn't know that one. That sounds good. But yeah, it's just weird. And again, look, I have liberal friends. We talk about this stuff. They're very straightforward and logical about it. Again, I mean, I pick my friends based on their intellect more than anything else. Could care less what their politics are. Because when we talk about politics, I'm always asking questions that stump them. It just happens. Sometimes they'll ask me a zinger. I don't know. But 9 times out of 10, I'm right. Speaking of right things, I want to acknowledge somebody that's over on the Green Machine that sent me a rant, because I'm grateful that this amazing person is texting us today, sending us a message. It's Pinochet's helicopter tours. What a classic reference. Remember, democracy killed Socrates. I know it's Socrates, but Bill and Ted's Adventure. Come on, give me a little bit. Forever proving that even the slimmest of majority can force the minority to drink the unhealthy fruit juice. I had to clean that up a little. Wop wop. Anyway, we're in a weird place, kids. I'm sorry. We just are. We just are. But I just want to say thank you to Pinochet. I appreciate it. Next up, well, we wore out the government shutdown. As much as I want to cover that all day long, it's outside of being grist for the mill as a whole, there really wasn't a lot to it. If we end up with a clean CR in the middle of the night tonight, it won't surprise me. If we end up with a clean CR in 10 days, it won't surprise me. If it goes on longer than a month, I think the Democrats are going to realize just how big a trap they stepped in and how poorly they're being looked at for stepping in it. It takes 7. This is the interesting thing, and then we'll move on. The interesting thing is it takes 7 rational humans that are in the Democratic Party to vote yes on a clean resolution. One that doesn't add additional spending for illegal aliens and other dumb stuff. Because they're trying to replace all the USAID money that got obliterated. And we're going to keep finding all of this corruption and all of these little pots of money and all these, incomplete programs and all these people who, have basically sat on stolen money. I mean, Chelsea Clinton, she's going to have to pay back all those millions. She better. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Tainted Kool-Aid. Thank you, Weatherman. Better than the iffy fruit juice. But anyway, we need to move on. So it turns out that do you remember the little blonde girl that didn't go to school? She was somewhere in Europe. Don't care about her. Her mom was an opera singer. I mean, her mom and her dad, both huge globalist freak shows, like left of the Kaiser. But of course she was doomed. She was doomed. So, and especially after not going to school, and she talks like a less intelligent human. Not to mention the fact that she has a haircut like Prince Adam. That's right. He-Man, terrible haircut. And it kind of looks like a homunculus. Right. Anyway, come to find out, and today of all days, what a terrible, terrible point in timing, that it's very possible. In fact, it's not even possible. It's very likely that homunculus chick, I think her name's Greta Thunberg. Thunberg. I don't know. Yeah. A little opera singer, tart. Yeah, her Flotilla was basically sponsored by the bad guys. Hassan Piker's friends. And I think that's kind of interesting. Oh, and this might bring back the what do you call him? The troll. We might get the troll back now, because this is obviously related to the Mideast strife at the moment. But yeah, the Global Samud Flotilla, the GSF, is the flotilla Greta Thunberg recently joined, departing from Barcelona around September 1 with over 20 vessels. The vessels, if you are a Star Trek fan. More than 500 participants aiming to deliver aid. Certainly that's what's happening. To Gaza and challenge Israel's blockade. That's what they're there for. They're there for propaganda. It's a photo shoot. It's a pretend virtue signal. Anyway, so the Flotilla isn't owned by a single entity, but is a collective effort by the GSF coalition of activists, NGOs, and pro-Palestinian groups from Europe, North Africa, and beyond. However, documents seized by, the IDF specifically, in Gaza revealed on September 30th, that's today, by Israel's foreign ministry and corroborated by outlets like Bild, show that Hamas, Hassan Piker's friends, direct involvement in its funding, planning, and ship ownership. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Jawa trader Hansel Thunberg. I like Hansel. Oh, I love that. That's that. Okay, that I'm going to put that in the rotation because that's genius, my friend. Wow. Okay, sorry. I was too excited by that. I shouldn't be. But yeah, I mean, well, you know what? Look, if you think I'm being harsh about the haircut, just bear with me a moment, please. Just bear with me. Let me show you the latest in hairstylings from Hansel Thunberg. There you go. There she is. Yeah. You know who has the same like pattern on their stuff? Schumer. Chuck Schumer. Anyway, yeah, she's staff. Why do I feel like she at a young age she accidentally stopped a frying pan with her face? Why? You know what? I'm going to be called out for that being a little too mean. A little too mean. It's accurate, but maybe a little too mean. Anyway, there's all kinds of documents in this that showed up, unfortunately, for people who want to support this bologna sausage. Many of these documents have been made public now, including this one. I got more, but I can't read this, so it's not helpful. It's just, this is what's going on. And honestly, is anybody surprised? China's funding a lot of bologna sausage happening here in the States. It's why a lot of these super lefties believe the super lefty junk that they do. For the better part of 2 decades, they've been hammered away at in universities and high schools and elementary schools now with absolute nonsense. You got brains that can't, even compete with tapioca at any educational level, let alone you have entire states where you cannot get the average person to even read at an elementary level. You have people who went through college who can't read at all. Those colleges should be immediately discredited. Immediately. All accreditation gone. Any institution that turns out students that cannot read unless they have some form of disability, immediately your accreditation is removed. Do you want to know how to solve the Department of Education problem? Have them actually make some standards and have them actually enforce some standards and give them the authority to immediately remove accreditation. Do you know how quickly schools will shape up? Do you know how quickly we'll get rid of bad teachers? I mean, how I would have loved to have seen fewer people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Do you know how many? There's a huge percentage of those idiots that were teachers. Those people that were demonstrating lower than human level appreciations for human life. Complete garbage. Tony Piacente did it again. Oh, wait. No, that was a while ago. Okay. I was like, trying to catch up with you guys. Every time I change that, it just gets all weird. Yeah. You guys. We're in a weird place. We've been in a weird place for a while. We should probably recognize that. We should probably recognize what Bill Maher was talking about. I think I talked about Bill Maher on Monday because of what he was dealing with, what he was talking about. I think Pro visited upon it, or maybe it was last night. But I'll just say this. I mean, you got Bill Maher coming out and sounding more and more like a Republican. I think actually that might have been what Tim Pool said about Bill Maher this morning, or maybe it was last night during his live show. We got to get out of here. We got to get back to a regular American experience, because nobody's going to want to come here if we have the same problems of a third world country. And we didn't have those until we started to import the third world. The Remain in Mexico policy worked for South American visitors that were coming here illegally. And what was the first thing that the Biden administration did? Well, not the first thing. I mean, the first thing they probably did was, well, something unseemly. But anyway, it is what it is, guys. But we got to get out of this world the way it is now. I want to give people credit where credit's due. I think the people that were pushing so hard on the free speech argument, I think that Bill Maher's one of those that kind of maybe pushed hard enough, but probably found in the last week that he was wrong. Is it good to get rid of comedians? No. Ask 1940s Germany. But do you when you get rid of somebody who's bad, who's losing money, is that a tragedy? No. Look, you may have the right for free speech, but you don't have the right from lack of consequences. And it's not cancel culture if you don't give somebody their network show to spout ridiculousness, especially lies. Right? Or am I wrong? How could I be wrong on that one? I'm curious. I do want to say to Ryan, what's up, Ryan? For 1 month being a member, says, to quote many a lib, no one is above the law. Oh my gosh. Did you see somebody put together, and thank you for that, Ryan. That's amazing. And thank you for being here for a month too, my friend. But no one is above the law. No one is above the law. Somebody put together a montage of every extreme liberal saying that, primarily on News Liberty. Nobody's above the law. That's the man. Remember, these are workshopped quotes that you're going to get out of all the mouthpieces that well, whoever pays them the most kind of came up with. You know, I think lobbying is illegal. I think it should be, because if it's not, I need to see who sponsors this politician. Like, you know, is it Pfizer? Is it Johnson & Johnson? I want to see. It should be on their suit coats, right? I think so. I think they should have to wear that. It's just me, though. Godzillionaire asks a question. I'm going to get to that in a second. But first, I got to grab Dean's comment, because Dean sent a super duper chat for $5 saying, 1820 Pennsylvania, a 5th grade certificate required being able to read the U.S. Constitution, write an essay about it, and do basic math, reading, writing, arithmetic. Do you know what it's not? It doesn't say in that? Reading comprehension. Any idiot can read. Well, maybe not. But most people, if properly instructed, can read. What they took away from what they read is a bigger problem, a bigger understanding, which is why, you know, people are always trying to say, well, there's a limit. You can't have every kind of gun. Yes, you can. You have the right to bear arms. It doesn't say what kind of arms. It doesn't limit the arms. And there's a reason. We just got out of a battle. In fact, we got out of a lot of battles, but that's a different conversation. And the fact that we couldn't have the Constitution until we had the Bill of Rights, but it was very clear that we were going to outline the rights. the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights to the Constitution. Government doesn't have any authority when it comes to that, and they should. That means all governments, state, city, all of them, any kind of municipality, you have no say. So, it's the same thing with speech, free speech. And there's no such thing as hate speech, just speech. You can say things that maybe nobody wants to hear. That's fine. But you still got free speech. Jimmy Kimmel had free speech. I didn't want to hear it. He lied. He still has free speech. He's free to lie. The problem is the public doesn't have to consume it or be forced to consume it or, any of that. You want to make a free speech argument, you make it about Nexstar and Sinclair being forced back into putting his garbage on the air. Not kidding. Anyway, and I want to get into that conversation about Kimmel, and we will. But I thank you, Dean. That's a great piece of knowledge. I think everybody should marinate in. Speaking of marinating in things, somebody asked me to define what I mean by get rid of lobbying. Get rid of paid lobbying. Get rid of lobbyists. Get rid of bribing politicians to support a given point. Because that's what's happening. And we're going to give you money to run if you vote on this thing. No. That's a quid pro quo. You shouldn't have that. And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you should be able to, as a citizen, lobby a politician. I would put a little window on it and say that, well, it has to be somebody from your community, your constituency. I'm not a big fan of professional lobbyists. I'm not. I mean, if you feel deeply about something, you should be able to lobby. But I think lobbying should only be legal from your actual constituency. First of all, that automatically keeps the illegal bribes coming from out of the United States, because I would assume the people involved in government are in a state. I mean, they're elected for Congress and for Senate, two senators from each state, and apparently a bunch of people that shouldn't be there because, they counted illegal aliens. That's a whole other conversation. But no, I think paid lobbying is a big problem, and I have probably since 1987 when I took my first government class in middle school. No, actually, that was 86. I think 87 was the big one, though, because that's the one where that got me into debate. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to why free speech matters and what actually drove this conversation in the first place. Because I'm sure a lot of you know that Jimmy Kimmel drove his own bus sideways and then somehow earned his way out of the penalty box, despite the fact he made no money. So when you take a look at, I experience you're not much older than I am. I think we're similar in age. You have to remember, gosh, I graduated in 89. I got Reagan, which was awesome. Anyway, I had to live through Carter. Oh, terrible. Actually, that's kind of like where we are now. Jimmy Carter drove the country into the ground, which is what Biden just did. He was also a single-term president. And Trump's back to try to fix it with a good plan. So there's that. All right, let's get back to the people I wanted to highlight, because I know I got a super chat here. Weatherman, thank you, buddy, says, we need senators to wear badges for every lobbyist that support them. I agree with you. We should know. Like you said, I think I'm not the only person who says that. In fact, I believe that was part of a comedic bit, and it may have been by the great Carlin. But I really do think that would help if we knew who was paying for you. And that's the problem. We know they're bought off, and we know their lobbying efforts, and the fact that there's some coming in from out of the country is bad. I think you should not be allowed to take money from anybody that's not a constituent or in the state of your constituency. Certainly change things, wouldn't it? It would certainly distribute employment better. If you want to have influence in, 3 or 4 states, you'd have to set up 3 or 4 branches, wouldn't you? I think that's reasonable. Okay, back to this, because I want to get to the story, dang it. Dang it. Let's talk about it. So Jimmy Kimmel's ratings went up, and then they fell off a cliff. Again, post-suspension. Yep. This is Jimmy Kimmel, and I've said this earlier today, and I mean it. Jimmy Kimmel is the human version of a crypto pump and dump. Everybody you knew he was going to come back, because he was going to come back at some point. He just came back way earlier than anybody expected. And he got the pump. Yeah, a little bit of a ratings bump. And then he got dumped. 70%. 64% technically the night after, but by the time you got around to Thursday, you'd already fallen catastrophically in the demo. A shocking 64% in total audience, down to 2.3 million, and lost 73% of viewers in the demo, down to 465,000. Yikes. By the time we get the rest of these ratings next week, no outlet's going to be interested in talking about it, folks. None. I will be. I'll talk with you about it. You get this conversation next Tuesday on where Kimmel is at that point. It's not going to be this high. I mean, typically, according to the Daily Mail, Kimmel gets about 1.8 million viewers each night. That's not technically true. He gets right around, or was getting around 1.2 million as of his most recent ratings prior to suspension. In fact, he had 128,000 viewers in the demo. So 465, it's not far to 129,000. The show loses money. He costs so much money. They're not getting it back. Advertisers don't probably want those slots anymore. After the limited bump, everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's terrible. Look at where it's sitting. Not going to be good. He's not good. He's not funny. He's a bully calling other people bully. Look at that. He's a real problem. The suspension was less than a week. The affiliate blackout was just over a week. And yeah, he couldn't even bring himself to say Charlie Kirk's name. He's a reprehensible human being, and I don't think I can say anything nicer than that. I'm just saying. Anyway, I have you genius audience out there. Tell me what you think. Are you crying crocodile tears for him? Do you care? Is Jimmy Kimmel worth watching anyway? Is it disappointing to see him fall so quickly, or is it expected? I think we all expected it. I think the media and the liberal intelligentsia of Hollywood were kind of hoping for him to hang in there a little bit longer. It was never going to hang in there any longer. Not at all. Cyrano, why can't you send a super chat? I would be angry if I were you. I would go over to the green machine and give them your money. But that's just me. Decepticon in the house. I'm going to be selling. I'm going to be selling the last of my Batman Deadpool on whatnot on first print tonight show. Awesome. Guys, go check out go check out Decepticon's Cave of Collectibles. He's a friend, and that's awesome, bro. Or maybe not awesome. I don't know. Do you want to sell it? Born in Boston. Great to see you, dear. Thanks for being here. Says the ones that watch Kimmel don't have jobs, so they don't spend, and that's a problem. And here's the weird thing about the demo. The demo should be raised and thinned out. for that very reason. You don't know if any of those people have money. Decent chance they don't. Decent chance they don't. 40s Mandalorian. Kimmel is a useful idiot to the left, and that's all. Well, he's a hateful person as well. That's my opinion, but just to add to what you had to say, I can't disagree with you. I really can't. Iger letting him back in is insane. Somebody asked me another question earlier that I was going to come back to, and now it's gone. It might have been Godzillionaire. I don't know. Probably Godzillionaire is brilliant. Goodness. Somebody find that for me. Please. If you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I'm just a lunatic with a microphone. Let's talk a little bit about this super chat from our friend 365 Rail. I'm going to say real. I like saying real. Can I say real? Or do you want to be Rail? I don't know. SP made Kimmel the victim of censorship in their newest episode. Yeah, South Park is not getting it right lately. It's okay. It's okay. Never mind that CK was censored forever. Yeah, Charlie Kirk's been censored for a long time. Look at there was no outrage from South Park that I can recall when Tucker Carlson got taken off the air. Kimmel defamed Charlie Kirk as a MAGA casualty. Yeah, he lied. He lied. Couldn't bring himself to say the name. Faked emotion as far as I'm concerned. That wasn't genuine emotion. It's like the little kid crying in their bedroom because you sent them to bed without dessert. When they hear a noise, they start to make crying sounds again. Cyrano, you made it work. Cyrano 2960 says, wondering where's Bernie? He's been a little quiet. Yeah. Well, he's probably got those weird black eyes that people on the left get. Maybe the latest shipment hasn't showed up. I don't know. I'm going to get accused of conspiracy theory, but I don't care. I don't care. What I do care about is something called digital currency and digital ID, because those are the two steps to take to turn us into the CCP or whatever the globalist version of that is. We're not doing it. The fact that the UK is pushing back so hard is good news, in my opinion. And I think we need to get into that story here in a minute. But we got another super duper chat. I got to grab from our. Oh wait, no, I grabbed it. It's from Cyrano. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I got to take care of it. Got to take care of it. Got to take care of you guys. You know what, Jawa Trader? I think you're right. He's the mouthpiece. He's a messenger for the evil leftists. Look, I'm not saying liberals. I'm not saying Democrats, although plenty of those. But yeah, he is a seller of the message. He's the soapbox barker of the extremists. He just is. He's not funny. Honestly, I mean, I have a few guys that could write a monologue for me for one of the late nights, Sunday night shows, which I used to have people do that. I think Mark Daly actually contributed a few jokes anyway. But I've been just speaking from the heart when I've been talking the last couple of shows, because we just brought the Sunday late show back on Sunday nights. It starts usually right towards the end of Valiant Renegade show. And then I feed that show over to the new political show that Brahmabul has. But anyway, yeah, Kimmel is definitely a lower level propagandist. It's true. Charlie loved that. He loved being made fun of. He thought it kind of made his career. He didn't have a problem with it. And that's why I think they told, I think the Turning Point or Eric or somebody told them, just put it back up. Charlie loved it. Why would you pull that down? Just is what it is. Is what it is. Look, there's my friends. There's my friend Carlos Alfredo Lopez with the tears. Bernie just votes aye a few minutes ago. Oh, really? What do you vote aye for? Was he holding up the mittens? I still love those mittens. I love him sitting in a chair, a folding chair, a little bundled up with the mittens on. I thought that was great. Is that just me? Is that just me? Anyway. We've been going for a bit, almost 2 hours. Well, I got to talk about the digital currency thing. I have to talk about digital ID, though, because that's really the first thing that's going to come to the Western world in a big way. I think you've seen a lot of countries, man, they're really trying to restructure their language around trying to figure out something bad to call anybody that's on the right side of the equation. I think they're calling them nationalists. They've already made evil out of Christians. Man, the ADL, they should be sued to oblivion at this point. Anyway, it's a different conversation. But yeah, the Poland is in good shape. Germany may be in good shape. We'll see. You're going to start seeing governments flip back to rational humans. People are tired of it. They're tired of the invasion. They're tired of people taking their social services and destroying them. They're tired of generating huge debt. They're tired of the idea that they want to force them under a one world government. Nobody wants any of that crap. And if you support any of those things, you're supporting your own enslavement. It's probably a bad plan, at least in my opinion. We got our friend Mark Daly out there. Mark says, even at its all-time low, full faith and credit in the United States beats full faith and credit of the internet. And if you doubt that, I have a Nigerian prince you should meet. That's right. You're going to get some emails. He wants to send you some lottery money, but you have to send him a transfer first to make it like a business relationship. He only needs 10,000 of your dollars to send you, 4.5 million of his. You guys ready for that? You believe that? Because that's what Starmer's trying to sell you. Starmer probably is one of the most evil international leaders right now. I mean, he's got the lowest ever rating for a prime minister. That says a lot because Tony Blair is the other scumbag that's trying to benefit from the digital ID. He set up all the infrastructure for it, and he will benefit greatly financially. Yeah, if you didn't know who the players were, Tony Blair's a scumbag. I mean, everybody probably already knew that. I mean, after the Iron Lady, the leaders in the UK went downhill. Anyway, so from Resist CBDC, which is, digital currency, central bank digital currency. China is the model for many nations, said Klaus Schwab. And of course, this is exactly the same that scumbag here, Kier Starmer, is trying to do. ID cards should leave us with a China-style social credit system. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Actually, I know it's a terrible thing, but, I have to give somebody a thought that maybe it was not terrible. You take a look at this from Jim Ferguson, and you get a little bit, a little bit more understanding. Now, I'm going to play this video with audio here in just a moment. How to confirm that I'm sharing the right thing, which I don't think I was. Let's get to it. Yeah, so this is from Jim Ferguson. I bounced the audio up. I'm gonna let's see. Can I embiggen this? Yeah, I can embiggen this. All right, so let's take a listen. Let's take a listen. We need to rewind a little bit. By the way, anytime he's talking, decent chance he's lying because, well, Kier Starmer. Herr Starmer. But here we go.
As a lawyer, I had quite a lot of money. I bought a field for £20,000 at the back of their house, and I said, here's your field. It's yours for as long as you may live. You can put your donkeys in it. I didn't create the trust. I simply bought a field, and I said to Mum and Dad, this is for you. Okay. It was, and also, by the way, Laura.
So he actually broke the law with a huge tax violation. He's saying it's £20,000 sterling. But he's been caught red-handed. This isn't the only time this guy has been caught in a lie, in a violation of law. You don't think there's like a 4-tier system of justice in the UK? This guy is personally proving that. They're kowtowing to Sharia law. They're allowing. By the way, if you are a sovereign nation, you cannot possibly allow for another type of government because Sharia law is a form of government. It's a theocracy. And you can't kowtow to like making people not be able to play music. You know, they're taking music programs out of Germany. This is why the AfD needs to get in there badly. So what's the law? The law is not the law anymore if you allow for a theocratic kind of law to invade your country. You're no longer sovereign. Don't do that. This is a jerkweed that's going to do that. He talks for 1 minute and 3 seconds about how even though he broke the law, he didn't break the law. Nobody believes that. Nobody in their right mind believes that. Everybody's got to be sick and tired of this by now. Why is it only me? Well, it's not only me. You guys are obviously sick and tired of it. I hope you are. The only good thing that seemed to have happened today, at least as far as I'm concerned, well, at least until the government shuts down tonight. But it's the fact that Pfizer had to come to the table with Trump and offered us here in the States, especially Medicaid, right? The drug benefit stuff and everything else. Offered most favorite nation pricing. Most favored nation, which means our pricing on drugs will be as low as the lowest country. You think that was an easy deal for Pfizer to swallow? Do you think they're trying to limp away from the disaster that was created? With people being served up things that a lot of people are now questioning. You got some bad things out there, folks. Very, very bad. I'm looking. I'm trying to see, where is the shutdown? Is it not caught? Maybe it doesn't happen until Tuesday. When does it shut down? I want to know. Because technically, isn't this the last day of the quarter? Right? Did anybody see any of that? You know, I've been asked this question a few times, and I'll entertain it because, first of all, your name's kind of fun. 2024 woke, go broke. There you go. Should we send troops to UK and Canada to save them? Why? Why? You're going to have a population crying for liberation soon enough. You realize the crown, that would be King Charles, in both of these countries. He could affect this just like that. He'd dissolve current government, both parliaments, and start fresh. I'm not sure I want King Charles to rule like that, but he could. I wonder if he would. Guess we'll find out. Okay, so Weatherman, I was correct. So midnight tonight, the government's officially shut down. We don't have to wait till next week or tomorrow. It's amazing. I guess technically that is tomorrow, though. It'll be the 1st. I'm trying to go through. Did they hold another vote? Where are we at? Somebody tell me, because I can't find any news from any of the news wires that should be sharing that news. It doesn't matter anyway. We're drawing to an end. We've gone for nearly 2 hours now. I'm going to bring up your chats, have a conversation with you guys on the way out the door. I love doing this Tuesday show. If you love doing this, if you love being here for this Tuesday show, let me know in the comments section below, in addition to, showing up a thumbs up. And I would appreciate that as well. This is Culture's twin today. Yesterday, he was all positive. I think I've been pretty bouncy and positive. I think I was. I think Godzilla is one that sent the comment I wanted to say, but I can't find it, which stinks. So, Canada is trying to get rid of anybody that has the guns, and they're trying to get rid of all the guns by the end of this year, I think, or something like that, or in the next year. Yeah, Canadians, that's always a good plan. Look what happened to Australia. Yeah, they're basically the CCP. Canada is trying to be CCP Europe, along with the other world kneeling WEF governments. Yeah. You can't give up your guns. You can't give up your freedoms. You need to finally establish some real rights. I mean, Canada's breaking the charter left and right. Scott Summers says, maybe after midnight. Okay, fair enough. I think you're right, Dean. I think Canada and the UK voted for their own enslavement. It's just the king could pull the plug on both and start again. Might be a good idea. Well, Klaus Schwab actually is out of power now. Currently, the co-leaders of the WEF, I'll tell you the one that terrifies me, Larry Fink. The fact that the WEF has not been called out for being an organized misbehavior unit like Antifa is surprising to me, because they are adversarial to the sovereignty of every nation. That includes the United States, by the way. And they're doing it with monetary moves, and the UN needs to be broken up as well. I'm sick and tired of world bodies. They are not good. They never have been. They've had limited purpose, and they should have limited their existence for a limited period of time. There's no reason to keep them together. And if you take a look at UN peacekeeping forces, their atrocities that they commit is absolutely disgusting. Seriously, it's like it's as bad as going to the the annual conference in Davos, where they bring in all kinds of different forms of prostitution to service all the whack jobs that are at those conferences. You think I'm kidding? I do an annual story on it. Anyway, October 1. Thank you, Helena. I appreciate it. As Sin says, this was a blast, CC. You bet. I love this. Neff says, later. All of you guys are bailing before we get to the best part, which is the outro. The outro, friends. You don't want to leave before the outro. That's bad. It's bad timing. You don't want to do that. Yeah, there is no USSR. No, but there is Russia. Whoa, you bet. Go. Enjoy. Let me know. Take pictures. Anyway. All right, let's get this done. I want to say a big shout out to my wrenches. You did a lot of work today. I want to say a shout out to the troll, right? The troll. Say a shout out to the troll. Trolls. That was fun. It was engaging. Shout out to all the people who made me think. Argentum. Thank you. Cyrano. It's good to see you. I'll even say nice things about Putin's cat, who's doing some good work on animation stuff. Mark Daly, of course. Juliet. Oh yeah. Tony Piacente. Amazing. And look, we all have the same similar thoughts, so I love it. It's great to see Spirian in the chat. We had some really Ryan, of course, being here for a month as a member. I love it. You guys are so wonderful. And Pyrene Dream, thank you. I just, and all the lovely ladies, you guys, I can't even believe it. I'm benefiting, and I'm very lucky to have all the lovely ladies out there. My percentage of viewership for females is so much higher than my compatriots. I am overjoyed, because it means that I'm not like crazy in what I'm saying. I can be enjoyed by everyone. Anyway, on that note, we've got to get out of here. And you know what? We're going to do two things. I'm going to play the outro for sure, but I'm going to play the thing I didn't play that I feel bad for now. I owe you a montage. Did I play the montage? I don't think so. We'll play the montage. We'll play the outro. Get your AOs ready. Let's go.
So what's the announcement this morning?
So my Department of Energy has announced we're going to return over $13 billion to the taxpayers. That's over $100 per American family. This was money passed and slated to be energy subsidies. But we need the subsidies have been corrosive because they've not only cost taxpayer money, but then they've led to more expensive electricity bills. We lose twice. So we're doing everything we can in the Trump administration to stop the rise in energy prices.
But Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, says that this is a taxpayer-funded bailout and is more about politics than U.S. interests. What do you want to say to Elizabeth Warren here?
Well, I tweeted it out yesterday. Senator Warren and her protege, Mr. Mondami, who's running for mayor of New York, they are American Peronists. They want to do to the U.S. economy what the Perones, the General Anavita, did to the U.S. They want to take control. So, and I guarantee you, and there are not a lot of things in life that are sure, that New York City will be coming to the federal government for a bailout if the Mondami plans are implemented.
And are you going to give him that bailout?
It will be the same thing that Gerald Ford said. Drop dead.
Drop dead.
Now, on the GDP side, this is our third time around the block on Q2, and we see a really solid revision, 3.8%.
Stephen, I want to move on to this news that the DOJ is considering indicting former FBI Director James Comey for allegedly lying to Congress. Your reaction tonight?
Well, I don't have any news to make on that subject or question, but I'm always happy to talk about disgraced former FBI Director James Comey.
Is the question. What is the shadow government? I'm gonna give a short answer as to the shadow government is the actual government that gives official orders to the elected government. I understand this could be hard to believe for some individuals, but the way it works, at least what I was able to witness for the past 20 years, is an extremely powerful entity behind the scene, and quite an entity. It does involve very influential individuals at the highest rank possible in finance as well as in politics. There are some heads of state behind the scene, indeed, and altogether 38 individuals run the daily lives of 8 billion people on Earth. Maria, the shadow government, is the entity that is behind most, if not all, elected government that tell them what to do and what not to do based upon geopolitical agreements, most of them anchored in military abroad interventions. That's what the shadow government is.
Plans for mandatory digital IDs will apparently be dead in the water in 6 months in the face of mounting opposition to the plans. Sir Keir Starmer has been warned by his former advisor, Peter Hyman.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up. let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time